So, what's up, guys? It's like 4:50 a.m. at the time of recording this. Most of you would think, oh, this chud has insomnia or some shit, but nah. What's the opposite of that? Narcolepsy or some shit? Haven't been diagnosed or anything, but since the age of 13, I've been falling asleep at the most random times. I'd fall asleep in classes I liked, classes I hated. Sometimes I'd fall asleep in classes I hated, but like the teacher, shit, it was so bad in 8th grade algebra, my teacher literally, and I mean literally, created a standing desk for me. I still fall asleep on it. So she got the school to buy 2 standing desks and put them to the perfect height for me in specific. Still fall asleep. Deadass standing up. Shoutouts to that teacher, by the way. I would have had an F if I pulled that kind of crap in any other class, but she was a real one, wanted me to succeed. I ended up passing that class with like a 78 or some shit. Reason I'm talking about this is because I haven't had this problem since I was in high school. Kind of figured, oh yeah, that was just some teenage hormonal bullshit. Goddamn, why is that so hard to say? But nah. In the past 7 years I've been working, I never had an issue with falling asleep or ruining my sleep schedule outside of trying to get more hours to game in. Well, I got fired from my job, and it's been about a month since then, and my sleep schedule was beyond fucked. I had an interview to be a janitor at a hospital. I couldn't sleep because I passed out for 2 hours, stayed up till 9 a.m. to go to the interview, and stayed up till noon after it. Then slept till 8 p.m. Not gonna lie, shit was pretty keno. Part of me thinks I'm just naturally nocturnal and that an overnight job would be the best for me, but all those jobs disappeared because of COVID. Where I'm at, everything closes at 2 a.m. The only chance I'd get is working at Taco Bell or Wendy's till like 1 or 2 a.m. And I'm not trying to do that shit. I'm trying to work 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. But I gotta drive 20 miles to get a full-time job that'd accommodate my degenerate lifestyle. The worst part of it is I'll lay down at a somewhat normal time like 8 p.m., 9 p.m., and my body will wake my ass up at 1 a.m. You might be thinking, oh well, Rariger, why don't you just force yourself back to sleep? First off, it's not always that simple. Sometimes your body is just screaming at you to get up and at least sit up straight. Other times you can fall asleep, but you'll wake up every hour, and it'll be like 5 minutes earlier each time. The sleep you get is worse and worse, and the dreams you get are freakish. I don't remember the details, but I remember one dream in that hour span where I was aware it was a dream. I was aware I was asleep. I could feel my heart beating in my chest, but I just had to sit there in unconsciousness, incomprehensible dreamscape until my body naturally woke up. Why the fuck was that so hard to say? Unconscious, incomprehensible dreamscape until I woke up. There we go. Shit's just cancer. Honestly, if it weren't for the fact I'm a grown-ass man living with his father, I wouldn't mind having a degen sleep schedule. If somehow, some way, YouTube popped off and I was able to move out, I'd probably sleep from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., wake up, hit the gym, and do my normal day-to-day shit until it's time to lock in and work at night. That's just wishful thinking, though, I'm not gonna lie. I don't really have that YouTuber attitude or voice. I won't be editing out all the ums and ahs and I usually have in my videos, so you can see what I'm talking about. I've had a speech impediment since I was a kid, and it usually isn't that noticeable in day-to-day conversations until it's pointed out. But all those little quirks in my speech make it miserable to listen without cutting out or re-recording. Not only that, but I'm hot ass at speaking into a hot mic. You might think, nah, I made myself some coffee and typed this shit out at 4:20 a.m. Off topic, but I both love and hate coffee. Personally, the flavor of the coffee is kind of mid. I do one of those McDonald's Cape Cups, whatever random shit my dad gets on sale. If I'm not mistaken, the current stock I'm drinking is from when he got for free from our local grocery, because he has a 15% off because he works for that chain of companies. And the store was already selling everything super cheap, but yeah, the coffee itself is mid, bit of creamer, 2 teaspoons of sugar. It tastes good enough to where I don't question the life decisions that got me here. I fucking love Monster Energy drinks though, specifically the green kind, but I can't drink those for a couple of reasons. They're essentially soda, and while coffee isn't much better for you than Monster Energy, it's so fucking good I'll just drink 2 to 4 of them if I'm not paying attention, which causes multiple issues. I either have to buy single cans, which isn't smart financially because it's better to buy in bulk, or I buy in bulk, drink 24 cans in 6 to 8 days, and go back to being a fat fucking chud. For context, I used to weigh about 250 pounds, better than most Americans if I had to guess, but not great either. Before I weighed myself, the heaviest I weighed in at was 235 pounds, and the last I weighed myself about like 9 months ago was 225. I don't have any hang-ups or on how I look or anything. I've always been bigger and fatter than most people in my friend group, so it's something I get used to. But seeing 250 fucked me up, I'm not gonna lie. I saw that and instantly cut the sodas, the energy drinks, been doing a low-carb diet, lost 20 pounds, and I'm down to 230. Legit, this is the best I've felt since high school. Side note, might make a video bitching about low-carb diets. Kind of ass, but that's not what this is about. God, where the fuck has this script taken me? Whatever. It's basically a stream of consciousness at this point, so who gives a shit? Somebody probably vibes with it, and honestly, that's the only thing I want out of my channel, for people to fuck with it and vibe with it. People in the comments often refer to me as a Leafy clone in the Big 26, or they'll bitch about the surf gameplay I use, and it's like, dog, it's a vibe and a half. I'm not gonna lie to you. Turn off your brain, go back, and watch some Leafy is Here archives. It's a blast from the past. I know some of y'all hated him in 2016, but I was 14. I would sit my ass down, play some Black Ops 2, Skate 3, Dark Souls 1, tons of different 360 games. It was just a vibe. I'd be listening to the golden age of content. It was Leafy is Here, Luna, Drama Alert, Grade A Under A, Pyrocynical, Scarce. It was a different era and shit just hit different back then. I'm trying to recapture some of that energy in the modern era. As corny as it sounds, that's part of the reason why Sukuna is my profile pick. Dude is literally from the golden age of Jujutsu sorcery. Like, how I'm trying to recapture the same energy of the golden age of commentary. Shit, maybe a Gojo profile picture would fit with that vibe more. Strongest commentator of today versus the strongest commentator of history type beat. God, that's fucking corny. Anyways, for those of y'all who are fucking with this and enjoy this content, like, subscribe, and all that bullshit. If you fuck with this more loose style of content without rhyme or reason to it, let me know in the comments below. If you got this far and don't care for this type of content, you should comment something along the lines of life-changing advice, Rary, or some gay shit like that. With that said, I'm gonna go back to my sleepless night. Take care, y'all.